Right, this next video is about finding an angle using trigonometry. So your starting point is exactly the same as finding a side. So you still label your sides with the hypotenuse, which is the longest. There's the angle, so this is going to be the opposite, and therefore that is an adjacent. Now, when we were finding a side, we always took the side that we knew and the side that we were going to find out. Well, this time you're given two sides when you're trying to work out an angle. So these are going to be the two that we tick. So I know that this one is 5 and I know that that one is 4. And it's that tells you which triangle we're going to need to use. So I need a triangle with O and H in, which the only triangle with O and H in is that one. In terms of covering up, I mean, when it's an angle, it's always the bottom left one. So this triangle, it would be the S that we cover up. This one, it would be the C. This one, it would be the T. If you think about it, O, we already know that's 4, and H, we already know that's 5, so it doesn't make sense to cover either of those anyway. So we'd be covering up the S, and that means we've got to do O divided by H. So O is 4, and H is 5. So when you do that, you're going to get an answer of 0.8. Okay, so 4 divided by 5, to show you on here, so 4 divided by 5 is 4/5, which is 0.8. So that should remind you that then there's going to be an extra step, so that angle there is really unlikely to be 0.8 degrees. So what you've actually found is what we call the sine of the angle, because it was the sine triangle that we used. And so to get the actual angle, because it was the sine triangle that we used, we've got to do sine to the -1 of that answer. So you can use your answer button on your calculator. If you've worked that out on your calculator and pressed equals, your calculator will store that answer. So we can clear that for now, go shift sine, and again it opens up the bracket, and then just press your answer button, which on mine is down at the bottom here. So close your bracket, and so then you should get 53.13 degrees, which looks more like a sensible answer. Right, so next one, this time the right angle's here, so here's my hypotenuse, that's the angle, so that's the opposite, which means this one is the adjacent. So again, which two can we tick? Well, I know that that is 3, and I also know that this one is 8. So this time it's going to be a triangle with A and H in, which has to be this one. You can guess which one's going to be in the third problem. So we're trying to find the angle, so like I said, it's always the bottom left for an angle. So we've got to do A divided by H, so 3 divided by 8, which I actually do know the answer to, 0.375, but just to have it there on my calculator, there we go, 0.375. And again, that's not going to be your answer, so that's the cos of the angle because it was my cos triangle. So I now need to do cos to the -1 and use my answer button. So shift cos, press my answer button, close the bracket, and then you get 67.98 when you round it degrees. Final one, so labelling your side, so there's my hypotenuse, my angle's here, this is my opposite, that's the adjacent. Well, I know that this one is 6 and I know that this one is 4. So it comes as no surprise that it's this triangle because that's the only one with O and A in it. And this time I'm going to cover up my T. So I'd have to do O divided by A. So 6 divided by 4. So again, I do know the answer, it's 1.5, but just to have it here on my calculator, so 1.5. So again, very unlikely that angle is going to be 1.5 degrees, so that should remind you to do something else. It was my tan triangle, so tan to the -1 of my answer. So shift tan 1.5 in the brackets, and then you get 56.3. And that is how you find an angle. Again, I hope that helps you